My husband expects me to cook for his friends' weekly dinners after he chose a boys' trip over my mother's funeral. My husband Nathan skipped my mother's funeral for a fishing trip with his college buddies. Mom died after 8 months of cancer. I'd been her caretaker the whole time while working full-time as a physical therapist. Nathan complained every day about my being gone in the evenings to help her. When she passed, the funeral was on a Saturday. Nathan had planned a fishing trip that same weekend months earlier. I begged him to cancel. He said the guys were counting on him, and death wasn't convenient for anyone. He went fishing while I buried my mother alone. That was 3 years ago. It broke something in me that never healed, but I didn't leave. I threw myself into my career instead. Started taking specialized certifications, opened my own practice, hired 4 other therapists. We're booked solid 3 months out. I bought the building we operate from. Last year I cleared $300,000 after expenses. Nathan works at a sporting goods store, makes $35,000 a year. Still acts like he's the king of the house because he's the man. I pay for everything. Mortgage, cars, insurance, groceries. He spends his paychecks on golf clubs and beer. But here's what changed everything. I stopped cooking. After Mom died, I just couldn't stand in the kitchen making Nathan dinner while remembering how he left me to grieve alone. So I started working late, eating at the office. He complained at first, but then discovered takeout. Problem solved, right? Wrong. Nathan started having his friends over every Friday. 4 guys from college. They order pizza, watch sports, drink beer in my living room. I stay in my office or go to my friend Rachel's house. I no longer care what he does. Then last month, Nathan announced he wants to make Friday nights more special. He wants home-cooked meals for him and the guys. Restaurant prices are crazy, he says. It would be nice to have real food. He actually stood there and told me I should cook for 5 grown men every Friday. I laughed, told him absolutely not. He got this look on his face like I'd slapped him, said I was his wife, that cooking was part of marriage, that his friends' wives all cook for them, that I was embarrassing him by not being hospitable. Every day since then has been harassment, texts about menu ideas, links to recipes, comments about how his friend's wife made amazing ribs last weekend, how another friend's wife does themed dinner nights. Yesterday morning he sent me a grocery list, an actual list, for ingredients for beef Wellington, homemade pasta, and tiramisu, for tonight, for his friends. Said he already told them I'd be cooking something special. I didn't respond. Instead, I called Rachel and asked if she wanted to grab dinner at that new steakhouse downtown. She said yes immediately. Then I called my colleague Robert and asked if he could meet me at my house at 5 p.m. with his truck. Didn't tell him why, just said I needed help moving something. He agreed. At 4 p.m. I went home and started packing. Not everything, just my kitchen stuff. Every pot, pan, plate, bowl, utensil, appliance, even the spices. Loaded it all into boxes. Robert showed up and helped me carry everything to his truck. We drove it to my office and stacked it all in our break room. By 5:45, the kitchen was bare except for the built-in appliances. At 6 p.m., Nathan texted asking where I was. The guys would be there at 7. I texted back that I was at dinner with Rachel. He called immediately, screaming about how I was sabotaging him, ruining his friendships, and being vindictive. I hung up. At 7:30, he texted that his friends were there and there was nothing to cook with. Not even a knife to cut the pizza they'd have to order. Again. At 8, Rachel and I were eating dessert when Nathan called again. This time I answered. He was on speaker with his friends. They wanted to know why I was being so difficult. Why can't I just make one dinner? I set down my fork. Let me make this clear. Nathan chose a fishing trip over my mother's funeral. He left me to bury her alone because his fun was more important than my grief. Now he wants me to cook elaborate meals for him and his friends every week, like some kind of servant. After he couldn't even stand by me on the worst day of my life. The line went quiet. Then I heard Nathan's friend Paul say, "Dude, you skipped her mom's funeral?" Another voice said, "For fishing? Full story on channel. Link below."